You gotta go one way. I don't.
So let's call to order the February 1st, 2022 workshop at 5:03 p.m. We'll call the roll first.
Councilmember Stoviak?
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto?
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl?
Here.
Councilmember Nichols?
Here.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico?
Here. Can we start with the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start off with communications from the mayor.
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, communication from the public and petitions.
Number 1, request from the Girl Scouts of Western New York to hold a recruiting event at Washington Park on March 5th, 2022 from 1 to 2:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council?
Do they need any tables or anything? They're not requesting?
I didn't see anything in it.
They're not
I didn't either.
requesting.
Here's, we're just looking for permission to hold it.
Well, I don't know where we're gonna be at that time, Dave, but, you know, if we're still in this COVID thing, we gotta follow those rules.
Okay. So we're gonna wanna make a motion, obviously, at least the DPW,
Police department.
police department,
They also have to have liability insurance.
set.
They said once approved, I will submit a certificate of insurance to the city clerk's office in their letter.
Okay?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that part will be met. Okay, I'll need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments.
So moved.
Second.
Number 2?
Number 2, request from the Juneteenth 2022 Celebration Committee to use Memorial Park to hold the 26th annual Juneteenth celebration in the city of Dunkirk on Saturday, June 18, 2022 and Sunday, June 19, 2022. Once again requesting assistance from the city fire department and the police department with demonstrations that have in the past proven to be informational and enjoyable to all.
Any discussion?
Yeah, with the construction of the mayor's super medium down Lakeshore Drive, is that going to have any bearing on them doing this with all the construction down there?
Mr. Chairman, I could respond to that.
Please.
Number one, this is not the mayor's project, this is a city project. But if the construction becomes a public safety issue, then we'll have to address it accordingly by maybe moving the event to the other side of the Clarion, that city-owned property there, or another site that they would agree to. But we could reach out to them to let them know that we expect construction to be happening. I really don't think it's going to be an issue, but in the event that it may be an issue, we will ask them to have a plan B.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, can I have a motion to refer to the appropriate departments? So moved.
Second.
Number 3, request from the Waterfront Hispanic Festival Committee to use the grounds adjacent to the Clarion Hotel and Tim Hortons to hold their second annual Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival on Labor Day weekend, September 3rd, 2022 and September 4th, 2022, to set up Friday, September 2nd, 2022, also requesting support from the Dunkirk Police Department and Department of Public Works, electric power, picnic tables, trash cans, and snow fencing.
The same question I have on the construction. Is that supposed to be completed by then, Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, same applies to this event. They'll be informed of the same issues.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments. We're going to look at DPW, obviously police. Okay, I got a motion from Nichols and a second and by Luscoviak.
Number 4, notice of claim from Evelyn D. Whalen of 1710 East Street for damages to her mailbox caused allegedly by a city plow on January 18, 2022 at approximately 9:30 a.m.
Discussion?
So moved.
Okay, we're gonna, again, appropriate department, law department. I got Nichols on the motion,
Second.
Stoyles on the second.
Number 5, notice of claim from Rebecca Batista for injuries sustained to her child allegedly while crossing the street on West 6th Street and Swan Street on October 27, 2021 at approximately 2:30 p.m.
Again, any discussion, council? Okay, I need a motion to refer to the law department.
So moved.
Nichols, got a motion, can I have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Mano.
Number 6, notice of claim from Frances Garvey of 117 West 7th Street for damages to her home allegedly from a fallen tree on December 11, 2021 at approximately 3 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay,
So moved.
same thing, we're gonna refer that to the law department. Motion by Nichols, can I have a second? By Councilwoman Moscoviac. Okay, reports of standing and special committees. We'll start with our first word, Councilwoman. Go ahead, Ms.
Well, I wanted to let everybody know that if they don't, the ice rink at Wright Park is open with the parking lot at the beach hut plowed, and they'll continue to do that. And then as chair of the Economic Development Committee, I would like to invite all citizens, council, and administration of Dunkirk to the Economic Development Committee meetings the second Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m. The first meeting being Wednesday, February 9th, here at City Hall, 4 p.m. The main issue on the agenda this month is harbor marina alternatives and how we might deal with the water agitation that occurs. The county administration from the Water Interest Department will be there to explain what we need to do and how quickly we need to do it in order to welcome back boaters during the summer months and therefore increase our economy. I hear word travels fast in the boating community, so let's reverse any adverse negative views. Also, there will be announcements of big thinking initiatives that will have a great benefit to our city of Dunkirk and will be popular with citizens. And I encourage everyone to attend, so let's go on this adventure together. And then I was going to mention about the free COVID test being distributed at City Hall for Dunkirk, and ask, Thursday the 3rd, clerk's office, 12 to 4, and ask the mayor how many do we have to give. I also was going to ask Vince if he had anything to add as well.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Councilman Bamano?
Just one thing. Glenn, can you give me an update what's going on with that house on the 300 block of Eagle Street?
We are aware of a maintenance issue with yard refuse on the 300 block of Eagle. It came to our attention in December. It's an out-of-town owner. We are in contact with the property manager, and some improvements been made, and I'll be cleaning the rest of it up.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Okay, thank you. Councilman Stoyl?
Yeah, recently we held a public safety meeting, and I believe we're making progress to satisfy the problems over here on 4th and Washington with the Catholic school.
Thank you.
I believe 2 poles have been moved.
Yes, sir.
That's it for me.
Thank you.
And Chief and I and everybody's been in contact with them about the flashing lights and everything else. So.
Right, excellent.
Work in progress.
Okay. Councilwoman Nichols?
Nothing for here. I'll wait for the meeting.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything. We'll move on to unfinished business.
Resolution number 15, 2022, resolution for the intro number 1 to local law number 1-2022, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law modifying Chapter 63 of the Dunkirk City Code entitled Sewer Use.
Okay. Richard, you got anything on that?
Just briefly, this centers mostly around our industrial users, the factories and what they put into the sewers, not how that's regulated and managed. The sewer use ordinance that we currently have in the books goes back to the 1990s for the most part. So essentially it just has to be updated to apply with and comply with current EPA law.
Okay.
On that, and that's the general change is management and regulation of that effluence. Would that be correct, Randy?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank our pretreatment coordinator, Jim Matson, and our chief operator at the wastewater plant, Bill Moore, for working pretty much 2 years continuously with the Environmental Protection Agency and the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation to make these changes, updated from 1990 to 2022. Both of those individuals have got compliments from those agencies. We have an excellent wastewater treatment plant. We're continuing to do improvements on that. There's something on the resolution tonight to help with the ventilation and things like that, and there's a little more to do, but the wastewater plant's working well. Of course, the water plant, in my opinion, is fantastic. So our water and wastewater are good. Thank you, Council, for your support with this resolution to keep us moving ahead in current.
Randy, if you could just clarify, I've had 4 or 5 different individuals question me as far as the reason for the update. If you could just maybe reiterate that it is to comply with New York State mandates?
Yes, and with federal mandates as well. We've learned that the danger levels of things like lead and mercury are much more dangerous at small levels, so the restrictions on those have gotten tighter. So as we study these chemicals that can be dangerous, we all know some cities in maybe Michigan where that particular chemical or element was dangerous. We're trying to contain all of that stuff and keep it out of Lake Erie. So we're required to, we are doing it. This shows that the council is behind all those requirements and that we're doing it. So it's because of the evolution of studies of the science of wastewater, Mark, that we have to make these adjustments.
So nothing in regard to rates or rates that we're charging,
No.
changing rates or anything
No,
like that? Just so that we're clear on that.
It's just setting different speed limits for the industries and are already well within those speed limits already. I don't see any industry having any kind of hardship with this new regulation. We just have to prove that we require it and we have to police it and enforce it. So,
And I want to stress too, it was a pleasure to work with Jim Matson. A year and a half ago, I worked with him on rewording a lot of this section of the city code. And I think he did a really good job on it. I just wanted to make that clear for the public that it had nothing to do with any rates or rates that we're charging.
and I'd like to thank the Treasurer's Office as well as Jim and Bill for working on that. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I can, just to be clear for the council to understand, this resolution has nothing to do with the rates. It does not lower or up the rates in any way. This was again to comply with the regulations. They've changed, and as they change, we need to update ours.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Dave?
Yes.
Can anyone read that first section 1, the intent, when we get out there, so that possibly with the intent that it says, they might be able to understand it, because it's perfectly clear in that first paragraph of what is happening in that resolution.
You want me to read it now?
No, as long as you got it, we just read it out there, that's fine. You okay with it or not? I got that whole packet. Okay.
It might be just helpful for the
Yeah.
viewing audience,
Mhm.
and then possibly that the newspaper could pick up on that as well, so that whoever
So there's
reads.
no misconception about what
Right,
this is about. I
exactly.
agree. Yes, good idea.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to pre-filed resolutions.
Number 17, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2021.
Any discussion? None? Okay. 18.
18, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2022.
Any discussion? Hearing none? Okay.
Number 19, ARPA stimulus fund use allocations.
Ken?
Yeah.
Question?
I want to see if we can get this thing straightened out in here, so we don't have to go through it out there again. The fire chief's gonna present you guys with a little get-together. I understand the mayor, you've come on board a little bit with this vote.
Yeah, so, I think the chief's gonna do a presentation. The bottom line is that, our boat that we currently have is pretty much out of commission. We are in need of a new boat. This was, a discussion that we've had over the past few years. We have looked at a boat that we wanted to purchase, and we didn't get it because we just didn't have the funding But the need is definitely there with the amount of money we've spent developing our waterfront. My recommendation is that we do purchase the boat. Again, there's a need for it, and I'll let the fire chief take it from here.
I do think that was a different
Yeah,
resolution.
we're gonna need a new resolution for the next meeting.
Yeah, we want to just, I want him to present something, so we don't have to, just get a resolution started for next meeting to go ahead with it. So we don't have to have 8 meetings in between that. As long as I found out you're on board, and I know the chief's got a,
I'm not like,
Okay. All right, well, let's work together now.
You have to do the hearing.
It sounds like we're all in favor of this, so let's get it.
The only question I have, Mike, we had discussed before in budget, is that when it was suggested at the round table there, even going to, I used one after Mark or whatever, and we all said, and we were all in agreement at budget time, that we would shoot for a brand new one, because we don't want to absorb anybody else's problems down the road and it costing us more in repairs and everything than it would be to buy a brand new one with all the bells and whistles that you need.
I believe Michael explained it, it's not the Las Vegas one,
Right.
but it's the New Jersey one.
It's not Las Vegas.
It's the one-
This isn't the desert.
Well, that's where we want to be.
We just have to buy some.
This is in the middle.
Oceanfront property in Vegas
Exactly.
to use it on.
This is in the middle.
Right, thank you everybody for letting me address the council. This is something that we've actually been talking about for about 3 years for the new members on the council. Just a brief history, about 20 years ago, the fire department along with the police department saw a need for us to enhance our presence as far as safety and rescue and perhaps fire suppression in our harbor, off our beaches, and the lake. At that time, we had nothing. We didn't have any type of vessel. We didn't have any trained personnel to address any of the things that went on out there. And the city at that point was in the process of enhancing the waterfront. There was a lot more activity on our waters, and we were responding to incidents on the lake, but were unable to do anything other than stand by and wait for another service like the Coast Guard or Sheriff's Department to, call people out, man a vessel, get it here, and to be honest with you, it wasn't optimal. So at that time, the department started putting people, our department started putting people through to get dive trained and surface water trained, and we did that, but we still didn't have a boat. So we went for some funding avenues, we went for grants, we went to, try to do it through budgetary process. That didn't happen, and luckily enough, Captain Cotta, who by the way was going to do this presentation, but he's actually with 4 of our guys in Baltimore right now for the funeral of the firefighters that died last week in the tragic collapse. But anyway, this is something very close to him. He's not only the captain of the fire department, but he's also a captain on the lake and does a charter boat business and things like that. So very, very knowledgeable, maybe probably one of the most knowledgeable people that I know about boats and things like that. So he was able to get a surplus boat from the Coast Guard. Not probably the best boat that we could have for the things that we wanted to do. Had no suppression features. It's hard to get on and off of as far as out of the water with divers and bring victims aboard. But we got something and we put it into service probably 17 years ago, and that boat since then has responded and saved several lives on the lake. And not just out in the lake, I'm talking in our harbor, off our beaches, and things like that. So about 3 years ago, Captain Cotta and Lieutenant Thomas, who's now in charge of the water rescue team, came to me and said, Chief, we're getting to the end of our life on this boat. This boat isn't going to last much longer. It's starting to take on some water in the hull. And that's when we kind of put the wheels in motion to kind of try to spec out a boat that would be optimal for us, to get and acquire, but then look for a funding source, which we've gone the last 3 years doing those specs and looking for funding. Any of the grants that we tried for, both police and fire department have tried in the grant avenue, and we just, either they didn't qualify or we just couldn't get funding for a boat. We've gone through the budgetary process, talked about, I think it's been agreed upon by pretty much everybody that it is a need, not a want, a need, but again, funding, you know, wasn't there and whatever. I think we have an opportunity now through the ARP funds to fund the boat. And what, you know, we've done was we updated the spec that we had from a little over 2 years ago. And then we brought that forward. I spoke to the chairman of the finance committee, the chairman of the public safety committee, and the mayor, and I'd like to try to move forward with this. I do have a packet for the council and the mayor, and this is basically a summary.
Mike, do you have to order it?
What?
Do you have to order one?
Yes.
And what is the weight on?
Well, it's very specific, sorry. Did everybody get one?
Chief,
No, I
how
didn't.
Marcia and I, we'd like to see.
I've actually got this.
Mike, I didn't get one.
Oh.
The mouth of the house didn't get one.
I've got the important part for you guys over here. In the summary of the boat, it just, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it just, there's a summary page that Captain Cotta put together on the front of this. It's a safe boat. Maybe you've heard of these, the go-to boats that are used by the Coast Guard, or used by most law enforcement and rescue agencies throughout the Great Lakes and actually around the world. Again, not going through all of it, but it's a 27-foot boat. It has a 10-foot beam, which the captain is very adamant about. It adds to the maneuverability and our room to work on the boat. Have, you know, in the unfortunate situation where we have to bring somebody aboard. It has a 22-inch draft, so we can operate in shallow water. Twin 250 Mercury outboard motors. Has a center console that has an enclosure. Our boat now does not have any enclosure, so if we're operating, a lot of times it's not in very good weather. We have no enclosure. This is not a complete enclosure, but they're protected from the elements. This has a fire pump on it. We haven't had a fire pump. We've had, obviously, you know, we have 4 different marinas. We have dealt with fires either in the marinas or in the harbor, and we have no suppression on the water side. We have to, if we have something in the marina, stretch hose lines out onto the piers, onto the docks, and fight it from there. That's what we would still do, but this would add to our fire suppression capability because we would be able to also attack it from the water. Councilman D'Amico can remember us doing drills. We do them a lot, and when he was a volunteer with the fire department, dragging hose lines down a pier is not an easy task. But anyway, all the electronics are up-to-date electronics, including the sonar, FLIR, and radar, which can detect not only you know, GPS and radar and things like that for navigation, but also detect you know, bodies above water and below water. And it also has the remote control searchlight system, everything included with that. There's training included in it, and the trailer also. So I think this is an opportunity for us. I understand the cost factor on it, but our guys have been scraping by with something that we had that the Coast Guard said we can't use this anymore for the last 17 years. So they do it's effective. I think we're trying to promote our harbor even more. We've got more activity. We've got another big fish derby coming in, and we need to have protection. And without a vessel, and I had to put it blunt to everybody, it's either we get a new vessel or we're out of business. Because we can't keep doing it with what we have, so.
Thank you, Chief. What we'll do is we'll just bring this up under new business.
Councilman?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yes,
just
sir, I'm
get it
sorry.
clean.
Chief,
I just want to
Chief, I'm
speak
sorry.
also and reiterate what the fire chief has said in the matter of public safety. This boat that we've had is going to be useless to us. It has lived its life cycle 10 times over. I heard the mayor earlier talking about, to someone, he mentioned the dates for the big fishing tournament. That's a national fishing tournament coming to this community. We've had the boat races, we've had air shows. This piece of equipment, I know it's going to be probably more expensive than anybody wants to spend, but if we have the ability to use the funds that don't have to come out of our general fund for this, and get a boat that's going to serve our purpose for 20 to 30 years for public safety along our waterfront, I stand behind it 100%, and I would urge you folks to move forward with this. Thank you.
All I'll say to that is I believe these funds should be used to invest in the city. I can't think of a better thing to invest in.
Right.
Okay, with that, so that'll go under new business. The only other thing under new business, the mayor and I had spoke last week. What I'd like to bring under new business is if we could give the mayor and his team a direction on Memorial Day. How do we want to progress? Are we going to go with the parade, or are we going to go with service?
Let's do it.
That's so I think we need to have a conversation on that.
Well, again, it depends on construction down on Lakeshore Drive.
Correct. So.
We still would have to have a service down there.
Correct. Correct.
I think, I was talking to Vince, and he said, or it was EJ Hayes, that during Memorial Day and certain events, they are gonna cease
Okay.
and clean up and make way for
Okay.
the holidays.
So, like I said, that's something we can bring out, we'll talk it through.
Yeah, other than those meetings as well, sorry, with EJ, and he specifically laid out dates, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and all that, where construction would cease, things would need to be cleaned up ahead of time, so all that's been, EJ has laid that all out.
I don't foresee if we have any issues, Mike, with those specific dates. We can work around whatever's going on. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
basically, they have to leave the road open for traffic anyway, so it would just be cleaning up stuff that's on the sides.
I vote yes.
You just want to ride around on one of those little
No, I
machines.
just want to get people out and enjoy the community.
You just want the snow to go away.
Yeah, well, not this weekend.
We gotta do that when you wait
Well,
on
winter's coming.
Right, as soon as we get in there, we got the
We
public
gotta
hearing.
do this.
That's what.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Yes, okay, I got a motion from Councilwoman Nichols to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Bomano, we're adjourned.
Councilmember Lescoviac,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto, Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember Lartini.
Aye.
We got a public hearing.
You couldn't have your safety meetings like a certain time.
by Councilmembers Belmonte and Nichols. Intro number 1 to local law number 1-2022, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law modifying Chapter 63 of the Dunkirk City Code entitled Sewer Use. To be enacted by the Common Council of the City of Dunkirk as follows. Section 1, intent. It is the intent of this local law to replace Chapter 63 of the Dunkirk City Code, the City of Dunkirk Sewer Use Ordinance, with the proposed sewer use ordinance to update it and modernize it to comply with the current United States Environmental Protection Agency's regulations. Is that good?
That's very good. Okay, public comment portion is now open. If anybody would like to speak on behalf of the public here? Not seeing anyone, going once, going twice, third time. Close. Public hearing is closed. Okay, let's call to order the regular meeting for February 1st, 2022 at 5:36 p.m. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lescoviac?
Here.
Councilmember Belmonte?
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl?
Here.
Councilmember Nichols?
Here.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico?
Here. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to, I'm sorry, not yet.
No, not
We're going
yet.
to do certification of prior meeting?
Sure. Practice today.
Yeah.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, January 18, 2022 was presented to the mayor on Wednesday, January 26, 2022. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect. And witness where I have hereto set my hand and the seal of the City of Dunkirk, New York, this first day of February 2022.
Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
I got a motion by Stoyl and a second, I'm sorry, by Nichols, and a second by Stoyl.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Belmonte.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, reading of the privilege of the floor.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case that individual shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing a group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits, and the councilman at large may determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. Councilman at large D'Amico shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste, are slanderous, or not germane to any action taken or contemplated by council. The time limit specified shall be strictly adhered to, except that a speaker may be allowed to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired.
Privilege of the floor is now open. Anyone wishing to speak? Going once, going twice, third time, floor is closed. Communication from the mayor.
Oh, he appeared.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to, again, remind everyone that our Development Department is working on the National Walleye Championships. They're scheduled to be happening here in the city of Dunkirk on August 24th through the 26th. This will be a nationally televised event for 2 days, and it will be showcasing our waterfront. I'm expecting all the departments to be working together to ensure that we have a successful event. The goal here is to make this, again, another event that the I Love New York campaign will sponsor for the future. So just wanted to remind everyone that we are working on that event. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, communication from the public and petitions.
Number 1, request from the Girl Scouts of Western New York to hold a recruiting event at Washington Park on March 5th, 2022, from 1 to 2:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. There's a motion by Bomano and a second by Stoyl that we refer to the appropriate.
Stoyles and Nichols.
Nichols? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Councilmember Luskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye. Carries.
And number 2, request from the Juneteenth 2022 Celebration Committee to use Memorial Park to hold the 26th annual Juneteenth celebration in the city of Dunkirk on Saturday, June 18, 2022, and Sunday, June 19, 2022. Once again, requesting assistance from the city fire department and police department with demonstrations that have in the past proven to be informational and enjoyable to all.
Any discussion, council?
Yeah, the same discussion I had in the workshop is, depending on the progress on Lakeshore Drive with the medium and everything going in, if they would like to pick another location as the need arises.
Or be prepared with a plan B.
Right,
Sure.
a Plan B.
That's fair.
Yeah, as I said in the workshop, these events, we will be reaching out to the organizers to let them know that we expect construction. I don't anticipate that it would prevent the event from happening, but if I am wrong and there is a public safety issue, then we'll recommend that they have a Plan B.
Okay. Any other discussion,
No.
council? Okay, again, I have a motion by Nichols and a second by Stoyl on this. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Luskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 3, request from the Waterfront Hispanic Festival Committee to use the grounds adjacent to the Clarion Hotel and Tim Hortons to hold their second annual Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival on Labor Day weekend, September 3rd, 2022, and September 4th, 2022, to set up Friday, September 2nd, 2022. Also requesting support from the Dunkirk Police Department and Department of Public Works, electric power, picnic tables, trash cans, and snow fencing.
Any discussion, council?
Same as the previous one with the construction.
Right. The same thing if we need an alternate site, or just as long as everybody's prepared.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, I have a motion from Nichols and a second by Luskoviac.
Councilmember Luskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 4, notice of claim from Evelyn D. Whalen of 17 Tenny Street for damages to her mailbox caused allegedly by a city snowplow on January 18, 2022 at approximately 9:30 a.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, we had a motion from Nichols and a second by Stoyles to refer to the legal department.
Councilmember Luskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. 5.
Number 5, notice of claim from Rebecca Batista for injury sustained to her child allegedly while crossing the street on West 6th Street and Swan Street on October 27, 2021 at approximately 2:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, we also have a motion by Councilwoman Nichols and a second by Councilman Bamanto to refer to the law department.
Councilmember Luskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 6, notice of claim from Frances Garvey of 117 West 7th Street for damages to her home allegedly from a fallen tree on December 11, 2021 at approximately 3 p.m.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I got a motion from Councilwoman Nichols and a second by Councilwoman Luskoviac to refer to the law department.
Councilmember Luskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, reports of standing and special commissions. Councilwoman Luskoviac, floor is yours.
Yes, I wanted to remind everybody that the ice rink in Wright Park is open with the parking lot of the Beach Hut plowed and will continue to be. And as the chair of the Economic Development Committee, I would like to invite all citizens, council, and the administration of Dunkirk to the Economic Development Committee meetings, the second Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m. The first meeting is Wednesday, February 9th, here at City Hall, 4 p.m. The main issue on the agenda this month is harbor marina alternatives and how we might deal with the water agitation that occurs. The county administration from the Water Interest Department will be there to explain what we need to do and how quickly we need to do it in order to welcome back boaters during the summer months and therefore increase our economy. I hear word travels fast in the boating community, so let's reverse any adverse negative views. Also, there will be big announcements of big thinking initiatives that will have a great benefit to our city of Dunkirk and will be popular with citizens. I encourage everyone to attend. Let's go on this adventure together. And lastly, there will be free COVID tests distributed at City Hall for Dunkirk residents from 12 to 4 Thursday, February 3rd in the clerk's office to the right as you enter. I wanted to ask Vince DeJoy, the Director of the Economic Planning Development, to see if he had anything to add to what I had to say, and ask the mayor how many tests we have to give out.
Thank you, Councilwoman. During the Economic Development Committee, the first part of it will be a presentation by Dave McCoy of Chautauqua Watershed, and also Rebecca Worster, as we all know, from the county planning, to discuss different options and alternatives for the wave action that comes in, different type of options to basically dampen the waves as they come in and do damage to boats and property on the marina. We're working with U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. As a matter of fact, while this meeting was happening, we received an email from Senator Schumer's office. They want to speak with us again, as we are working directly with Senator Schumer's office on this initiative. There also want to mention that there are going to be a grant opportunity that we're looking to apply to probably rather quickly. We've just been notified that there are additional CDBG CV funds through the New York CARES program, and we're looking to put together an application to submit to Office of Community Renewal, likely for a little over $1 million that could benefit some local businesses with some direct grant assistance, those that have been affected by COVID, and potentially some public facilities funding. And we're looking at a different range of options, working with consultants from the Harrison Studio, the same consultants that we have worked with for the DRI, and the county works extensively with on other development projects. And we may also be talking about another initiative at the end of the meeting with regards to potential new intermodal transport hub, and hopefully an Amtrak station. That we're looking at the feasibility of it right now as we speak, along especially with SUNY Fredonia, and the president there is really trying to gather community and other regional stakeholders on that project. So we're looking at, with all this infrastructure money, and there's money that Amtrak is receiving, we're looking to make Dunkirk a potential Amtrak stop.
Wow. Valerie.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, I thought there was one other part to your question, Mayor, how many kits were available?
Approximately, do you know how many tests there will be available Thursday?
We initially started with 450 tests, and again, the state provided these tests through the county, and they were delivered to us. We did hand out approximately 150 of them already, and I think we're going to be giving some more out this week. Is that correct?
Yes, we started off with 450. We had a pretty good turnout. We had 150 that we gave out on Monday, yesterday after we left here. And I started off handing them out at the cars, and then it got cold and people started coming in to us. But we handed out about 150, so there's approximately 300 tests that we still have to hand out.
Good. Great, thank you.
Okay. And when will they be given out?
They will be handed out on Thursday from noon until 4 p.m. At the city clerk's office. Just come on in, bring your proof of residency, You have to be a city resident in order to get a test, and we will gladly disseminate the rest of the test on Thursday.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Bomano. Yes, Thursday, noon to 4, that might be a tough day with the snow, right, Randy?
Yes.
I'm gonna add a little bit comment to Natalie's comment about Wright Park. I can give you a little bit of update what's going on down there. I see some of those guys that work on that and play down there. There's a group that goes down there, adults and kids, and the adults coordinate it where they have their playtime, and then the kids come in and they have their playtime. They're bringing down benches, they're bringing down, some guys are even making something so they can make ice for the ice. They're bringing down hot chocolate and having food. So there's a group of kids, and I'd like to shout out to Mr. Dobek. He's putting a lot of his own money into doing this. He's a big hockey guy for years and years. Mr. Doyler and Mr. George, and there's others. I just don't know who they were, but I was just talking to that gentleman. And Mike, are the lights working down there?
Yeah, yep.
So you can play at night too.
Yep.
You can go down there, shovel, and play at night. And
Yep,
they have a big get together on the weekends down there.
Yeah, the lights are on until about 10:30-ish.
Perfect. And while we're speaking of lights, the lights go out in the city on the streets anywhere. Who do they get a hold of? How does the residents get a hold of it?
Yeah, before the holidays, we've completed the citywide LED upgrade. Approximately 1,600 lights were replaced, upgraded to LED. If any of them happen to burn out, please call Public Works at 366-9832 and report them. The old policy was to call National Grid or contact National Grid. We own those lights now. They are guaranteed for 10 years. And at this point, we've saved well over the $250,000 a year in energy that was estimated.
Great. Randy, I see there was some construction on 6th and Roosevelt today. Can you give us an update on that project?
Sure.
They were doing a lot of work down there.
Yeah, they're working through the winter, H&K to get that water line finished. So we got better fire protection there, better water service. And that's part of the missing link to finish the consent order for the water plant. That and the Main Street booster station that's under construction, so we're closing in on that. It's encouraging to see the contractor tough it out and work through this type of weather.
Yeah, I
Keep
think
at
they're
it.
trying to get ahead of Wednesday,
Absolutely.
Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Where I work, ECR International, which is the old Dunkirk radiator, we are doing a big hire. We are expanding, and these positions, we used to have just a temp line come in for 2-3 months out of the year. These people, they come in, you work 59 days, and then you're full-time into the union, into the company. So these are full-time jobs that are coming to Dunkirk. We are expanding. Councilman D'Amico knows what's going on. We're behind, we're working crazy, and we'll probably be on overtime all year. So get a hold of me or Councilman D'Amico if you want any more information on that. And one more thing. That's all I got.
Thank you, and Councilman Bono.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add, I did receive an email from a city resident requesting information on the LED project. I just wanted to again announce that the LED project, all of our city lights have been converted to LED now. So the city is reaping the benefit of all those savings. And anytime that a light is out, as Mike said, all the city resident has to do is call our DPW department and we'll take care of it. We have a contract with our contractor to come in and take care of those lights if they go off.
Very good. Thank you. Councilman Stoyl.
Yeah, recently we had a public safety meeting with Public Works, Fire Department, Chief Ortolano, myself, and the Catholic school over here. They've had some problems over there. Mike was good enough to generally go out there and clean up their sidewalks. It's just not going to become a habit. And the 2 poles on 4th Street that were taken out by a car accident have been replaced. The sad side of that is we removed them from some neighborhood, right? And anyway, it went pretty good. We're making progress over there, I believe. And then I got a question, Mayor, or somebody, I don't know. I got an email from this guy. He wants to know, is there an archive of these meetings anywhere, like on film?
Oh, that was the one, yeah. I got the same one, Councilman Stoll.
Yeah, so we did respond. I had Gabe Taylor respond. There are some, I don't know how far back they go, but,
Yeah, this guy was talking to the 90s, for God's sake.
yeah, and I believe there are some, and we had Gabe Taylor respond to them.
So he could just, who could this guy get a hold of to,
He
I don't
can
know
get-
what he's after, but,
He can get a hold of Gabe Taylor, and if he wants to do it online, he can do it online, or he can just call him.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for me.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nichols.
I just want to reiterate to give Judge some feedback on it. Also, our public library has a lot of the meetings that are on microfiche, and he could go and check on that as well if he's looking. It depends the dates that he's looking for something, but they have it all at the Dunkirk Free Library. So, I have a couple questions for Randy. The first one is the railroad tracks on Lakeshore Drive there past the old Aquavia, that you were instrumental in getting the ones on William Street Extension so speedily repaired. They were wondering if the same thing could happen there because they're getting into be such rough shape for the motorists. And wait, let me finish it. You got two, then you can just go on from one. If you want to give an update for the change of hours on our recycling building at Lucas Avenue, and also touch base on applications for the sidewalk program. Thanks, for you.
Sure. I will work on the railroad tracks. I have the personal contact of the new track manager between Erie and Buffalo for the CSX line, and that's part of it. That's a spur from CSX, and I'll call him tomorrow, and I'll get an update on when they can do that, and I will also interface with New York State DOT because that's crossing a New York State highway. So we'll get those two. I was very happy with the new track foreman for our area that worked on the one on William Street. Took a while to get a hold of that person, but the mayor and I were able to get a hold of him and get them. Once we got a hold of him, he moved pretty quickly. Turns out he was born and raised in Forestville, so he knows our area, and he's going to know the track you're talking about, Councilwoman. For the other two questions, I'm going to defer to Deputy Director Mike Provision.
I believe the new hours at the recycling center are Monday to Friday, 9 to 2:30?
9:30.
9:30 to 2:30?
To 2.
Or 9:30 to 2. And what was the other one? Oh, sidewalk program. They could submit the application to call Public Works and ask for Andy Bone, and he can point them in the right direction.
Okay. And on the light poles, if there is a light out, are we following the same procedure to get the pole number before, when they turn it in? So
Yeah, they could just give their address in front of their house or whatever, and we could go out, and the police department's been great with notifying us when some are out or if there's issues, so just tell them to call in 366-9832, give their address and the approximate location of the light pole, and we'll have it taken care of.
Or the pole number.
Or the pole number would be fantastic.
If I could just add a little bit about the great LED project. Not only is it saving an awful lot of money and an awful lot of energy, it's also a safer light. If you drive through communities now, you're going to be able to recognize our light quality compared to some other ones that use the high pressure sodium, use much more energy and doesn't give you nearly as much visibility. So the city really has come alive with lights, and I think it looks great.
Thank you. I talked to Andy Bone today, and midweek next week, our new curbside calendars will be out, and all residents should be receiving them in the mail. It's in English and Spanish. Please read them. If you do not get one, Edwin will have them in the clerk's office, and they will have them in the treasurer's office. It will give you information of what not to put out, when to put it out, and what's going to happen if you violate all of the above. And I just have a question, and I don't know who put this booklet together with the officials' numbers and everything in it. But according to this, all of our numbers are going into Edwin, so he's going to answer all the council calls from now on out, right?
If
we
they
don't
look in
have
that
our...
book, apparently.
No, it doesn't. It has your number in here for Dunkirk, and I just, for Natalie's, for Dave's, for Marty's, mine, and Ginger's.
That's how they're listed in the county, ma'am. And so when they do call us at the clerk's office, we will gladly give them the information that we have on you.
Oh, but everybody else is in here with their correct numbers. We're the only oddballs out, and we were just a little bit... Will you stop it? And I would like to say something to the mayor. I said, I did not know until Councilman at Large told me when your state of the city address was. And I know we're trying to open up communications with council and the mayor, but when there's something like that of the importance, could we at least get a text message, an email, or even a hard copy in our mailbox? I know the state of the city address is a lengthy thing to put together, and we had our council meeting 2 weeks ago, and you were probably in the works of doing that. I'm not trying to bash you, Mayor. I just think we need to communicate more, and that would be opening the door to help us get on the right track. And I'm sure Councilman at Large will agree with me on that.
So the state of the city is something that we do annually. I do announce it. It was advertised and published that this was going to happen. But in the future, I'll try to remember to reach out and contact the council members individually.
Thank you.
I mean, you just send a mass email or a mass text or everything. You have all our information.
So the one comment that I'll make to that with the mayor, we did speak last Friday, and one of the topics that we talked about is creating a better line of communication. We've talked about doing a standing meeting between the mayor and I a month or a couple times a month. So we got some things we're trying to work. Hopefully it'll get better.
I'm done.
Thank you. And that's all I had. Let's move on to unfinished business.
Resolution 15-2022, resolution for intro number 1 to local law number 1-2022, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law modifying Chapter 63 of the Dunkirk City Code entitled Sewer Use.
Any discussion, council?
Does he want to read it at this time, that first line again?
Sure.
Section 1, intent. It is the intent of this local law to replace Chapter 63 of the Dunkirk City Code, the City of Dunkirk Sewer Use Ordinance, with the proposed sewer use ordinance to update it and modernize it to comply with current United States Environmental Protection Agency regulations.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions, council?
Richard, we gotta take this off the table?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to take it off the table.
I second.
Got a motion by Bomano, a second by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye. Carried. Okay, we'll go to pre-5.
Now you gotta vote on the actual vote on it.
I'm sorry. Okay, so we're amending it. So do I need another motion on that?
No.
No, just another vote?
Just the vote.
Okay, call roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto. Aye. Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, now pre-5. Yeah.
Number 17, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2021.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 18, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2022.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 19, ARPA stimulus fund use allocations.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, number 10, we're going to new business. What I'd like to bring up is, as I said, the mayor and I did speak last week. One of the topics that we discussed was about Memorial Day. At this time, Mayor, I'd like to turn it over to you under new business and go ahead and do a little presentation.
So what I had asked our chairman was how the council feels about doing the Memorial Day Parade. As you know, we've had to cancel it because of COVID the past 2 years, and our team is ready to work towards having it, and I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. So I'd like to have the council let me know how you feel about having the Memorial Day Parade. It's one of the largest events that we have, and so I just want to know if there's anyone, the council members, that are against having this.
No, as long as this keeps going in the direction it's going, right?
Right,
I got no.
with the COVID.
We'll be outside, so.
Yeah, that's the nice part. We will be outside. Hopefully, the numbers continue to go down. I think it's a beautiful tradition, paying reverence to to the people that gave their lives for our country.
And the main reason I ask is because I get calls and emails routinely on people that are on the flip side of the coin who think that we're not taking this COVID thing serious enough. So
Well,
I just want to make sure that we have the council
As
behind.
long as this trend keeps on going, we're gonna be outside. I mean, I would encourage people to still wear masks. I mean, that's what they're all telling us, you know.
We'll know more when we get closer to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I also understand, I mean, if you're gonna do a parade, you're gonna have to book. I'm sure, I know some of them come from Erie, I know some of them come from Buffalo, I know the bagpipers, you know, all those things.
Cleveland.
There's coordination in that, so I understand that. I'm in favor of it. If we can do it safely, I'm in favor.
Safely and tastefully.
So nobody's against it, is what I
No.
was getting at. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I just have one more thing. I would like Chief Ortolano to express the severity of people parking on both sides of the street, with, especially now with the snow plow, the snow that we're predicted to get, and the alternate parking rules and regulations, so that
We change at 5 o'clock. We try to give some time before and after, because obviously we can't expect everyone to change exactly at 5 o'clock. But we encourage everyone to change as close to 5 o'clock as you can, so it does not put cars on both sides of the streets in the event we have to get our large equipment, such as our fire trucks, up and down those streets for that purpose of rescue or in case of a fire. I'm going to tell you, 99% of the residents of this community are doing great. We are having an issue in one place. We've been monitoring it. We've towed some cars this week that were in the way and preventing a school bus from getting down the street. We've towed cars that we feel, a pickup truck with a trailer on it that we felt was inhibiting our fire truck from getting down the street. So we do keep a close eye on it. If they do get in the way and hamper access to the snow plows, if a snowplow can't get down that street, a fire truck can't get down the street. And that DPW has worked well with us. I had a conversation with Mike Portpiglia yesterday, again about this. The plow drivers will call us if they're having an issue, and we will tow the car, no question asked.
we're thinking about, it's like a 45-minute wiggle room on that.
I don't want to set a time on it.
I know, but
Councilwoman.
it's-
I just would like everyone to move them as quickly as possible. Depending on the certain circumstances, or the weather, or the snow, we may tow a car at 5:15 if we have to, or 5:45 if we have to, depending on the circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else under new business? Hearing none, let's go into adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Doyle by second by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac?
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto? Aye. Councilmember Stoyl?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Councilmember Larson?
Aye. Carried.
Yeah, man, smart man.
Oh, I know, I already had a discussion with, we all discussed all this in budget time.